Good evening, everyone. So I think whatever the numbers are, because all of you are there, let us respect your presence and we will start the session. So how are you all doing today? How are you feeling today? All of you. Hope good or mid of the week already tired. How are you all today? Okay, Dave is saying fine. Okay, Dheeraj is good. Okay. I am always good, I have made my brain work in a way that whatever happens, I'm cool always. So namaste to all of you. I can see Subrata doing a namaste and I assumed it is to me. So I said, let me also revert back with namaste because during COVID, this became like a, international way of being safe and also showing your respect to others. So Dave, by the grace of God and NLP, I'm always in a happy zone. Things happen, things come, things go. Sometimes there's pain, sometimes there's no pain. Good. I'm also happy to be here, Nishi, because as we say that happiness is a state of mind and we should never put a, reason to be happy. What do? We give a reason, no, if I get this, I'll be happy. If I get that, I'll be happy. If this happens, I'll be happy. I tell everyone that just be happy and things will happen. I've seen when I was traveling, nowadays I don't. I used to see these kids in urban people who live in cities. They would, oh, thank you so much, Madhusmita. I'm honored that there are these kids, at the signal. And I would just give them anything that I'll have in first, some biscuit packets, some chocolate, and they'll be over the moon. So one day, what happened when I came home? My son was crying and he was very unhappy because I don't know how many of you know. There's something known as a Pokemon card. There was a Pokemon game and there was a Pokemon card. And apparently he had lost a couple of his cards. So next day I said, come with me. We'll go for a drive. So we just went and I had an old chocolate in my purse. I just gave it to those kids. Old as in it was there for a couple of days, though it was not rotten. It was healthy. And they started jumping and doing cartwheeling. And my son looked at them and he said, why are they happy? I said, because they have chosen to be happy. Whether someone stops and give them a chocolate or not, whether the chocolate is an afterthought, whether it is bought for them or somebody just thought ki chalo bacche dikh rahe de de. That was a learning for him too. I said, you're crying because your Pokemon cards, somebody has 7 more than you. So the happiness, my dear friends, today we are talking about emotional intelligence. And the key is just be happy without any ifs and buts. If this happens, but this happens, because happiness is just a state of mind. And when you're happy, trust me, you know what we release when we are happy? Who can tell?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Subrat this side.
Good
I will be
evening.
start.
Good evening. Yeah.
We can just, if you will be happy, then you can just, I can relieve our stress,
Hmm.
workload, and something like that.
But we put so many clauses to be happy, na? अरे जब
Yes,
तक ये नहीं होगा तब तक हम खुश कैसे रहेंगे? अरे जब तक वो नहीं होगा कैसे खुश रहेंगे? That's not how it is.
yes.
There is a hormone which we call as, there are a couple of things, and it is known as dopamine. You may have heard, couple of you may have heard dopamine, serotonin, endorphin. These are released. There are 4 hormones which is released when we are feeling good and happy, and they drive us to do things more powerfully and in a better way. So remember, happiness, being happy is actually a key to success. Without anything. So I call it dose. Uh, I don't know. My acronym is that. I'm just sharing with you all because we are talking about emotional intelligence today. So dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and oxytocin. This is what is released. And my short form to remember is mostly dose. A dose of happiness is what we need. And when these chemicals are created, when we are happy or when we are feeling good about something, it actually gives us that power to perform better, to do things better, and channelize all our resources in the right direction and in right way. So I have already told what we are going to talk on today, but still, anybody knows what we are going to talk on today?
Yes, ma'am.
And that is emotional intelligence, right?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And I was asked this question by a I was talking about emotional intelligence in one of the HR forums, you know, where I was giving a talk. And a very senior person whom I look up to said that, how can you be emotional and intelligent together? I was like, and what does that mean? Uh, yes, baby, the medicine for these four chemicals are being happy because these chemicals are released by our brain. You know, our brain can create all the chemicals that is required for us to run the body. Every chemical is created by brain. And when you are happy and when you send that signal to your brain, automatically these chemicals are created and passed on to us to feel even more empowered. Happy to hum already hai. But these are also known as the four happy hormones. If you ever Google the four happy hormones, you will get these four. So I said, sir, I just want to understand your statement. He said, emotional fool hota hai. So how can emotional be intelligent? So I said, so you feel that anybody who's emotional is a fool? Well, emotions are fool. They drive people to do funny things. And because I couldn't debate with him, he was a very senior person, I just kept quiet. And I just told him, okay, let us just discuss for another 1 hour. Once my session is over, we'll come back and we'll talk of it. He said, Arey, Swati, it's okay. These are new terms. You are a neurolinguist programming trainer. He was totally not in the zone. I said, that's okay, sir. Ab aap aa hi gaye ho. You are part of this evening. So, yeah, let me be there. And he was very convinced that emotions and intelligence can never go together. How many of you think that emotions and intelligence cannot go in together?
Yeah, I agree. From my side, I agreed.
That emotions and intelligence cannot go together, right?
No, no, no. Can be.
They can go together. Okay. Anyone
Yes.
else?
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes, ma'am, sometimes.
No, no. Every time emotions and your our intentions and our
Hmm.
these things are moves with each other absolutely.
It actually, in today's time, any
No,
successful
no, no,
leader.
not today, madam. I think not today. Before days ago, before years ago.
Hmm.
Now it will be in our future also. In our emotions and our intelligence will go with with each other because we might have seen some we have read some books like Ramayana,
Hmm.
Mahabharata. They
Hmm.
have so many emotions, but they have
True.
the intelligence and intentions
Hmm.
for getting those emotions. They reach the successful things by their using their intelligence.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Ayushman. What I was actually saying that in today's day, to be a leader, emotional intelligence is the first criteria and IQ is the second criteria.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm jury in couple of awards, best India's best places to work, and in ACF Global CSR Award. And trust me, empathy, emotions, and the other quadrants, the Daniel Goldman, we have four quadrants. The other quadrants, they are more given preference over whether you know your technicalities that well. And especially after COVID, empathy, sympathy has taken a lead on everything other than your, talent. Your logic, your talent is a secondary thing to your emotional intelligence if you want to be a leader. If you want to be there holding your own, we say be emotionally intelligent. Yes, Aditi, to express one's emotions to another person intelligently, it has to be done in an intelligent manner. Devi has written, what's this then for? Can you please repeat? Which one? Those are you asking, Devi? I don't know. Dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and
No,
oxytocin.
ma'am. Daniel principle you said, no, it's like
There are 4. We will cover it today. We'll talk of those. Today we are going to talk of emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence session is actually incomplete without Daniel Coleman's 4 model, because all of us, feel that it is about expressing our emotion to another person. Actually, it is much more than that. It has relationship relevance, it has self-awareness, social awareness. Everything is part of emotional intelligence. So in this, the one thing that is missing, Subrat, is emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotion as well as others. If you are not connecting with others, it is not emotional intelligence. This is just you displaying the best emotions that you want to display. When we talk of the entire gamut, we talk of self-awareness, social awareness, relationship awareness, so everything. So if you are in an office and you are dealing with people, you need to know how to deal with people, because emotions is what, blinds people to the beauty of things. So like I said, today we will go into details of knowing what is emotional intelligence, how does it really work, how it really is all around us. We know it, and yet it is a bit of a challenge for us to practice, because वो कहते हैं ना, somewhere down the line it is said that if you show your emotions, you will be weak. If you show your emotions, people are going to take advantage of you. Emotional intelligence doesn't talk about showing your emotions. Emotional intelligence talks about utilizing your emotions to the best of your ability, so that you also get the best outcome and the other person also gets the best outcome. So if you look at this, there are certain pictures I'm showing you. Which of these resonates with you? Just look at these. You need not tell me. You can just look at it and you can just tell your own self, oh, I like this one. Oh, I like this one. I think of this sometimes. I think of this sometimes. You don't have to tell us what it is. You can just think in your mind. Does any of these resonate with you? Couple of them used to resonate with me earlier, till I wasn't practicing emotional intelligence. Now I'm mostly out of most of them. Still, on some days, yes, couple of them still do. Okay, Aditi, nice one. So just tell me, just you can give me a thumbs up if any one of them have resonated with you. You can put yes, there is something that has resonated with me. There's something in the chat box. Okay, Aditi thanked me. Thank you. So any of these have resonates with you, as in you kind of have thought of it sometime? Okay, I have something in the chat box. Let me see what it is. Okay, and if it has just one in the bottom right corner, this one. There are times that you have to stop caring. You have to turn off all emotions and feelings just to protect yourself from getting hurt. Okay. When this happens, why I brought this quote, when this happens, means somewhere you still are not using your emotions intelligently. There's something that is stopping you from connecting with people. There's something that's stopping you from accepting people as they are. There is something somewhere that is not working out for you. And that is what we are going to decode today. That what is it that makes us resonate with these? Because these were all negative elements. So what are we talking of emotional intelligence? Remember, emotional intelligence means emotional maturity. It is as simple as that. How mature are you emotionally? What is emotional maturity? You've ever met a person, I cannot tolerate realities outside my own. मतलब जो मैं कह रहा हूँ सही है, this is the reality, and if there's any other reality, I don't accept it. And what the emotionally mature, they say multiple realities can exist at once. People's actions are a reflection of who I am as a person. कभी मिले हो किसी से जो जिसको ये लगता है कि कोई भी उससे कुछ भी चीज बिहेव कर रहा है, it is because they think कि वो पर्सन वैसा है. होता है बेटा. We say be emotionally mature. People's actions give me their feedback around their space in my life. So how they are placed in your life is what is giving the reaction. The reaction is not about who you are. It's about what space do they hold in your life. Boundaries are selfish plus personal rejection. So if somebody, you know what are boundaries? Anyone knows what is the meaning of boundaries? We'll put it in the chat box or I'll tell you.
Limits.
Limits, ma'am.
हाँ तो तुम लिमिट्स कैसे सेट करते हो?
According
जैसे
to our
ma'am,
goal, madam.
According to?
Our goal, madam, we make our we create our limits and we do works and we give our efforts to those works.
Okay, so I'm giving you
According to our tolerance level, we get our boundaries. Like someone is behaving with us like rudely, how can we tolerate them? Or
Beta, I've had a book thrown on me. Sorry, a telephone thrown on me. And the person who threw that phone on me is my best friend now. So I'll tell you what are boundaries.
yeah, ma'am, from my end, this what Iceman said, that is for organized point of view. But my concern is that if I'm just talking to you, as you are teaching to us, I am a student for you, and I should talk one that some limit what I have to talk to you to is some like this. I have my friend, my parents, my teachers, my colleges. There should be some limit. I should know that what is the limit of us, what is the way of I talk to him with him, or because there is some limit. If I'm talking my father, my mom, my sister, and my boss, there is a different limit.
Wonderful. I really love the way you guys think.
Exactly, because that in that way you have to keep in your mind what is the limit. If I'm talking my boss, if I'm talking with you as you are professor, you are teaching to us, and I should talk with a limit. I can talk just like a friend. This
So
is my concern.
those are behavioral boundaries, right? Action and
Exactly,
behavior.
exactly,
When we
ma'am.
talk of emotional boundaries, has it ever happened you have told your parents or your best friend or your colleague, yeah, I don't want to talk about this now, and they have felt like bhau kha raha hai yaar. Has
Exactly,
it ever
ma'am.
happened?
That was my concern.
That is
That is
emotional boundary that people create. There are certain things where we need our self time, you know.
yes, ma'am.
I always say I share my example. I'm sharing my example. So for the last couple of months, at least not months, it's been a year now, I've been a little unwell. So what happens? I'm working in my house, in my space, and then my son will just come and barge upon me. Now he's in UK. When he was in India, and I would say, can you just step out for half an hour? This is my time. What are you doing in this time? And I'm thinking, I'm reading. This is my time. He said, Mama, आप बहुत बड़े professor हो गए हो, आप ये हो गए हो, वो हो गए हो, and he'll get very upset. Until he realized that there is something known as an emotional boundary.
Exactly.
And if someone tells me today, if Subrat says that if I call him and he says, can we talk later? I just am not in the mood. Emotional maturity says, give him that space. All of you learn this from today. Because all of us are wired in a way. We we have grown up listening to that human beings are social animals. Correct? यही सुन के सब बड़े हुए हैं. Always there is a part of human being that also wants to be alone. That is the boundary all of you have to respect for others and create for yourself, because
Exactly.
emotional baggage is created when that boundary is disrupted. You know, you want a space in your house to sit quietly and think, and somebody or other keeps on coming and talking, and you give some space. Yes, Madhusmita, give some emotional space. And you do it with your friends. If your best friend today, you call up and you talk to him or her, and she says or he says that, see, I don't want to talk now, I need my space, respect it. Because that is something we call, yeah. space. That's what we call as emotional maturity. So boundaries are selfish. तुम लोग क्या बोलते हो? ये बंदा कितना selfish है यार, जब अपना काम हो गया तो हो गया, अभी उसको है ही नहीं, तो you take it as a rejection. No, boundaries are self-care and personal time. And for emotional maturity, you have to start looking at this in a bigger way. Even today, many a times it happens that I call someone who has been my ex-student and the person messages, ma'am, I'm just not in the mood, and I have respected that. And then the person has called back and said, ma'am, I'm so embarrassed and sorry that time. And I tell him or her that it's okay. You needed that time. I called up at a time when you were in your own space. Respect boundaries of yours as well as others. I have zero tolerance for anyone who disagrees with my belief. ये तो I mean, I don't know what happens with Indians. उनको तो जो सोचता है वो सोचता है. And if somebody says you're wrong, it's like, oh my God. I mean, I have seen people fight over things which are totally non-existent in the real world. They don't even make. I mean, I was no offense. Food in India is a big what do I call, rapport builder, as I said, and is a point of war also. Remember, I shared about pani puri, puchka, golgappa, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, yes.
So the other day, what happened? There was an online thing going on. It was not a session. It was more of our neuro-linguistic programming NLP group get together just before New Year. And I happened to say that, Arey yaar, I'm so sad nowadays. I'm unable to have pani puri because of my health issues. I'm not allowed to eat. So one lady said कि जब भी doctor allow करेगा, you have the pani puri from Delhi. हाँ, वहाँ का पानी अच्छा होता है. And this other person said कि नहीं Swati, when you go to Bokaro to your place, have it from Kolkata. पुचका अच्छा होता है. And even before I could say कि अभी 1-2 साल मुझे allowed नहीं है, they both got into a debate कि इमली का पानी अच्छा होता है या पुदीने का पानी अच्छा, and what are the health benefits of pudina and imli? And I was like, give me a break, guys. I'm still not allowed to eat. So we just don't want, we don't like. Nobody should disagree with your beliefs. I say be emotionally mature. What people believe is based on their perspective and conditioning. Respect them. My relationships are spaces where I vent, gossip, and complain. We always think that if we are in a relationship, see, almost all of you are mature enough to have been in some kind of a relationship. Even with your parents, your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend. You feel that relationship space is for you to complain and gossip and shout at them, dominate them. That's not what it is all about. Emotional maturity says that my relationships are safe space of mutual sharing and expression. Give space to your other half, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, because relationship is the biggest emotional intelligence, breakaway. I have taken interviews. So as we say, our emotions need to be as educated as our intellect. It is important to know how to feel, how to respond, and how to let life in so that it can touch you. When we are emotionally immature, or if we are holding back, life stops doing certain things for you. You guys just said that I'm generally happy. I'm always happy. You know why? Because I accept people as they are. So if my house help breaks something, I'm like, if she was that intelligent, she would have been a CEO somewhere. So she has certain limitations. So if she broke something, live with it. So you all have to from today be emotionally aware, as well as accepting that everybody is doing the best with the resources they have. Trust me, no one ever wants to do anything negative in life. We choose to believe that the person has done something, so that is being emotionally immature. How many of you have ever in life taken over a conversation because you thought the other person was unstable to conduct the conversation in office, at home? तुम चुप रहो, मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, मैं बोलता हूँ, you just don't get it. Okay, सुब्रत का एक हाथ ऊपर गया. You know what happens? They are expressing in the best way they can. So when we are emotionally intelligent, Subrat, if you want to be there, right there on top of the food chain, as we call it, a CEO, a leader. Today I coach leaders, I coach, the topmost CEOs. First thing I tell them that accept people around you. Because you don't want to change, right? He said, मेरे को कोई change करके तो दिखाया. I said, because you are sitting on top of the food chain. Your office boy is not going to come and tell you that stop shouting at me if the coffee is late. So respect the people down the food chain because they can't even express. You know, they just smile. Hanji sir, post deta hu. Have you seen that ad? The fellow where, and I love that ad. I don't know kaun sa ad hai, but I love that because it was emotional maturity at its best. So this guy goes and bumps into that manager with a tea. And then he's like, now he will shout at me. And he said, नहीं नहीं कोई बात नहीं, कल से मेरे लिए कॉफी लाना. तो वो स्माइल करके चला गया. That's small things, very small things, and you all can do it. If I have done it, other people have done it, so can you. So we say that be aware. Now I want all you intelligent people. I love the way you think. ये पिक को देख के तुम लोगों के दिमाग में क्या आता है मुझे बताओ. I really want to hear.
कल सेम था मैम.
हाँ
एक्चुअली कल
साहू सर ने डाला था.
Exactly.
तो तुम लोगों को क्या ध्यान आया था?
वो गर्लफ्रेंड बॉयफ्रेंड
मुझे
हमेशा तो पहले नेगेटिव ही आता है.
नेगेटिव आता है. तुमको पता है मुझे एक बच्चे ने क्या बताया था?
वो फादर सिस्टर ब्रदर.
नहीं नहीं बेटा, वो तो सोबर है. मुझे तो एक बच्चे ने बोला कि ये जरूर इमोशनल ये अपना इंश्योरेंस वाली बंदी होगी. उसने क्या किया कि एक रखा और एक इंश्योरेंस में रखा. And I could not even laugh. I was just listening to their theories. Okay, so she is playing it safe. So साहू सर ने इस इमेज का तुम लोगों को क्या इंटरप्रिटेशन बताया?
Always have plan B.
You should have plan B, right?
No, actually, आपने जिसके बारे में बोला ना,
really say that you should have plan B, but did he say that? I don't know. Somebody, I don't know who had replied. So इस इमेज का सर ने तुम्हें क्या बताया? I'm really curious to know. Subrat is laughing.
Ma'am, first you have to tell us, then we will discuss that.
But I think Sahu sir was taking dhoka.
I'm sorry. You are cheating.
I'm cheating. Okay, I was. तो साहू सर ने तो गोल सेटिंग पढ़ाया ना, तो सर तो गोल सेटिंग रिलेटेड ही कुछ बोले होंगे.
नहीं मैम, सॉरी, आप बताओ, हम टैली करेंगे.
टैली करोगे बेटा? We are from the same organization, so obviously we have the same content and same thought.
Mom, this is Dev, mom.
हाँ?
This is Dev.
हाँ, बोलो देव.
हाँ, कल सर ने ये बोला था कि जो सेकंड बॉय है उसने अपना गोल को अचीव किया.
Okay, तो सुब्रत, मैं थोड़ा सा इसमें अपना तड़का डालती हूँ तुम लोगों के मजे के लिए, ठीक है? Actually मेरा इंटरप्रिटेशन ये है. This boy is the emotional challenge. The middle person is every individual, and this girl is their life. Did you understand my representation of this picture? Life जो होती है ना बेटी हमारी, we are holding on to life and life keeps on holding into emotional challenges. That's my interpretation. We are so fond of having emotional challenge, right or wrong?
यस मैम.
हम लोगों को बुरा मत मानना बेटा, मैं भी कभी कभी करती थी, अब नहीं करती बिकॉज आई थिंक आई एम ओल्ड नाउ. बट ऐसा लगता है ना, दुख बता के बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. एवरीबडी ओहो सो सॉरी, सो सैड. होता है नहीं होता है?
नो माँ.
सुनने वाला भी तो कोई
बेटा
होना
होता है,
चाहिए ना.
होता है, सुनने वाला होना चाहिए. मैं तो बहुत सुनती हूँ बेटा, एज अ कोच एंड अ काउंसलर. सो आई से दिस इज योर इमोशनल चैलेंज.
आपने जो बोला कि हमको अभी तो ऐसा लगने लगा है कि अभी हम डिप्रेशन में होंगे, कोई दोस्त नहीं, कोई नहीं, हमको काउंसलर के पास ही जाना पड़ेगा और कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं बचा है अभी.
यू डोंट हैव टू डू एनीथिंग मधुस्मिता. अगर कभी भी तुम डिप्रेस्ड हो, मैं तुम्हें आज सिखा दूंगी हाउ टू डील विद डिप्रेशन एंड एंगर. यू विल नीड नो वन इन लाइफ. खुद से ठीक हो जाओगे.
बट एक्चुअली आई एम
हो जाओगे, तुम्हारे काउंसलर का खर्चा बच जाएगा.
एक्चुअली आई एम अ सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड पर्सन. मैं कभी भी डिप्रेस होती हूँ ना, मुझे जो अच्छा लगता है लाइक चॉकलेट, उसको खा के मैं अपने आप ही अच्छे मूड में आ जाती हूँ.
The day when I am having lot of pain, कि कोई दिन होता है ना बेटा, my disease is such कि पेन इतना होता है कि unbearable हो जाता है. So I take a cold coffee, I take a packet of chips, और मैं मस्त कोई गाना लगाती हूँ.
I also love cold coffee and French fries.
मस्त एक कोई गाना लगाती हूँ, म्यूजिक.
Sir, music can remove all the pains.
Yes, takes away all the pain. हाँ, लेकिन बेटा अगर वो म्यूजिक इसका हो, तुम्हारे कौन है वो
मैम अगर म्यूजिक अरिजीत सिंह का
अरिजीत
हुआ
सिंह
तो
अरिजीत सिंह अरिजीत सिंह
नहीं नहीं, अरिजीत सिंह नहीं बेटा, मैं तो ओल्ड हूँ तो जगजीत सिंह सुनूंगी, अरिजीत सिंह तो नहीं। हैविंग सेड दैट, अगर वो सोनू या सोनू कक्कड़ का म्यूजिक होगा ना, तो आदमी और डिप्रेस हो जाए मेरे
मैम
हिसाब।
जगजीत सिंह का गाना सुन के तो और भी दुखी हो जाते हैं।
हाँ, तुम लोग ना बेटा यंग हो अभी, हम लोग का वो फेज हो गया है बेटा।
जगजीत सिंह का गाना तो बहुत ही अच्छा है। होश वालों को खबर क्या है, खुद ही क्या चीज
वाह
है।
वाह वाह, आई एम लविंग द इमोशंस flowing in this session today. I don't know, Subrat was laughing, लेकिन the other day I switched on the TV channel और वो कोका कोला तो आ रहा था, मैं और डिप्रेस हो गई। I just switched off the TV. I said मुझे ये गाना नहीं सुनना है, I will listen to something. And Arjit Singh sings well. So somebody wanted me to explain this. Simple होता है बेटा. If you look at this person, this image is of your emotional challenges. This is life. और ये जो बीच में हो ये तुम हो. This is you. Okay, this is you. And what happens? आप लाइफ को पकड़े हैं और लाइफ जो है वो आपके इमोशनल चैलेंजेस को बिहाइंड योर बैक पकड़ी हुई है. Did you understand what my correlation is? Even without your knowledge, आपको तो पता नहीं है, आप तो लाइफ के कंधे पे हाथ रख के चल रहे हो. वो गाना है ना, वो कौन सा अभी मधुस्मिता बोली तो मुझे भी याद आया, ऐ जिंदगी गले लगा ले, बस रख के जा रहे हो. लाइफ पीछे से इमोशनल चैलेंजेस पकड़ी हुई है, एंड दैट स्टॉप्स यू from moving forward, from achieving what you really want to achieve. So this is my interpretation. I hope Subrata you liked my interpretation.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is emotion? So emotions are biological states associated with the nervous system brought on by a lot of neurophysiological changes variously associated with our thoughts, feelings, behaviors, responses, and a degree of pleasure or displeasure. Now, what is emotional intelligence? What is expected of you in job? Who can tell me?
Sorry, ma'am. Can you repeat, please?
आप जब जॉब में जाते हो ना बेटा, आप तो
Yes.
बहुत सालों से कुछ लोग कर रहे होगे.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you went for your job, what is expected of you in your job?
For my point of view, I am just giving. I will give my best, and I will achieve whatever in my mind.
हाँ.
And that's it.
Okay. और organization आपसे क्या expect करता है बेटा? What does the organization expect of you?
Oh, the best from
Best-
my side.
Best
Yes.
from your side.
Yes.
So there is something very interesting I want to show you all. This is a quadrant of poor emotion. This is optimized emotion. This is strong coping. This is poor coping. No organization wants poor emotions and poor coping. No organization wants poor coping and optimized emotions. No one wants poor emotions and strong
Yes, ma'am.
coping. They all want you to be here. This is where you have to be. Strong coping and optimized emotions, because your emotions is what will drive results. Every time remember, just 2 minutes introspection I want you all to do. You were given a project.
Sound बहुत आ रहा है. Please mute your phones, please.
So you were given a job which you really knew how to do it. Okay. You are an expert in that. On that day of doing that job, you were emotionally fragile. Will you be giving 100% productivity? No.
No.
Do you have less knowledge? No, you have the knowledge. What is the problem? Your emotional state. It is a very powerful state, बच्चे. हम लोग क्या सोचते हैं कि emotions मतलब, you know, कुछ नहीं है, बस खुश रहो. This is much more powerful. So when you are at work, what happens if you have fear? Chalo, I have some questions. Let us just talk for a while. If there is a talk, or you can put it in the chat box. अगर आप fear में रहोगे job में, तो उसका result क्या होगा? What will be the result?
Ma'am, I think the result was 0.
Okay, so the emotions I am telling you now.
Ma'am, because I face these things, the fear I face in work.
So when you have fear anger, disgust, sadness, rage, loneliness, annoyance. आप कितने भी talented हो, you may be the best worker, it will impact.
मैम एक्चुअली मैं पहले जहाँ पे काम करती थी, उनका जो वहाँ जो ओनर थे, वो इतने ही स्ट्रिक्ट थे कि मुझे काम आता था, फिर भी मैं डर डर के रहती थी, कुछ भी नहीं कर पाती थी, कुछ भी नहीं, मतलब कुछ करना चाहती थी भी नहीं कर पाती।
होता ही है बच्चे, this is the natural reaction to what you are facing. And if at the same time, when you are at work, you have love, satisfaction, contentment, interest, amusement, happiness, serenity in you, how will you feel? You will outdo yourself. Right
yes
or
ma'am,
wrong?
that's so, yes.
तुम जो नहीं भी कर सकते हो लाइफ में, वो भी तुम करना शुरू कर दोगे. I had a person in my organization who was very average, and suddenly his manager said that ma'am वो खुद से कोर्स करके आया है, now he wants to do this because he was so full of energy. He wanted to prove to everyone that see, even I can work. So our emotions have such a powerful impact in the entire structuring of our work. We underplay it. We don't pay attention to our emotions. I don't know why, especially Indians. And no disrespect, I am an Indian from the core of my heart. For some reason, we have always been told to keep emotions out of business. And trust me, emotion drives everything. If you are emotionally not there, you may be the best award winner person. You will have your own challenges to deal with. So what happens at your work when you feel, we have to understand that it has a huge, huge impact on who we really are. So let us just look at this. This is interesting for all of you. Can you see this? This is the wheel of emotions we call. एक इमोशन से देखो कितने निकलते हैं. Anger alone takes to hurt, threatened, hateful, mad, aggressive, frustrated, distant, critical. It further takes you to embarrassed, devastated, insecure. Can you see? Something as simple as fear, like she was sharing, can lead you to all these outer ring of emotions. And it really starts impacting your entire work life. I have seen best of the people give up on things because they were emotionally unstable. And some of the emotional challenge we face is grief, sadness, and anger. The most common. How many of you have anger issues?
Yes, ma'am.
I have, madam.
सबको होता है बेटा.
Yes ma'am.
We all, because we think, I mean, not think. We respond first and we think later. उस समय क्या होता
मेरे
है?
को था, वो गया. I
Your
used to have.
Your job changed you.
Certainly 4 years पूरा सुधार दिया मेरे को.
होता ही है.
मेरे मैम ऐसे कभी कभी ऐसे मतलब नट मतलब
सुब्रत इज सेइंग कि कभी-कभी ऐसे मजे के लिए गुस्सा हो जाता है.
नहीं मतलब ऐसे कोई के जैसे होते हैं ना, जल्दी हाइपर हो जाते हैं एंड देन
lot of
exactly
वो तुरंत गुस्सा
then
होता है.
suddenly realize that I'm sorry यार, I just reacted with you, it's just in that way, that was wrong, I'm sorry.
What
After
if I
5
say
minutes,
anger is a positive emotion if you want to make it?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me tell you guys a secret here. Every emotion we talk of in negative can also be a positive emotion. If your work is not coming along proper, if people are not working the way you want and you are getting angry, you will put in extra effort to make that work happen. There your anger is related to your passion, right or wrong?
right ma'am,
Your
because
anger becomes your passion. Sadness, it shows your depth of feelings for things and the depth of care for others and this world. So every negative emotion, my dear friends, as we call it, is also positive.
बहुत सारे ऐसे एग्जांपल हैं. मान लो जैसे है ना, गर्लफ्रेंड बॉयफ्रेंड है, वो उनके झगड़ा हो जाता है, तो फिर वो कहते तुम्हारे पास है क्या, क्या कर सकते हो, कहते मैं करके दिखाता हूँ, रुक जा मैं कुछ बन के दिखाऊंगा.
वो मूवी थी ना एक, कौन सी मूवी थी वो?
शादी में जरूर आना।
शादी में जरूर
शादी में
आना।
जरूर आना।
जस्ट वो टाइम वो गुस्सा में फिर कुछ बनने के लिए बिल्कुल हो जाता है और बन के दिखाता हूँ।
धड़कन
नेगेटिव है तो पॉजिटिव है। This is the
positive.
example what I just recall.
Therefore, today I want all of you to say there is nothing
अरे
wrong.
नहीं
I'm
उसमें
the-
उसमें
I'm
बहुत
that
सारा
person.
बंद है ना, अपना लाइफ बर्बाद कर चुका है।
वो तो बाद
उसमें
में
ऐसा
किया
नहीं
ना
होता,
बेटा,
ये
वो तो
फिल्मों में
बाद
अच्छा
में
लगता
रिवेंज
है।
हो गया। धड़कन में first he became rich, then he went for revenge. He should have
नहीं
stopped
नहीं
at becoming rich.
मैम मेरे साथ तो हुआ है इसलिए मैंने किया हूँ, इसलिए एग्जांपल
Very
दिया।
good. So one learning from today's session is every emotion is a neutral emotion. How you deal with it defines it. जो हम कहते हैं ना ये नेगेटिव इमोशन है, आज से be conscious of that. I say jealousy is also just an emotion.
मैम आपके साथ हुआ था क्या?
हाँ,
आपके साथ हुआ था?
jealousy?
यस मैम।
Jealousy का मेरा तो अलग ही स्टोरी है बच्चे. I'll tell you क्या story. I'm not taking the name of the person. When I joined this entire training journey, I was the fastest to become a NLP practitioner, fastest to become NLP trainer. And Mangesh sir says she's my, coolest student who learned the fastest. So one person got very jealous in our group. So we were a set of 16, 17 people who started this journey together. And in her jealousy that I want to become better than Swati, she started a company and she started working on programs, though not core NLP like me, related program, and trust me, she's making good money now. So every time we speak, I said, you should start giving me some part of the profit of your company. If I had not inspired you, you would have not have become. So jealousy also, my dear friend, none of the emotions are negative. We call them negative. What is the outcome of that emotion actually defines the emotion. Everything you look at it, if you are giving it a positive tinge. In corporate, I have seen people do that. People have come up to me and said, ma'am, why did that person get more increment than me? And I'll say, because he did this better. He said, ठीक है, I want to become better than him. Competitive होते हैं out of jealousy. So every emotion is a neutral emotion. How we deal with these emotions define whether they are positive or negative. Any questions on that before we go further? No? So now what is emotional dissonance? In a workplace, very often it happens, there is a conflict between experienced emotions and emotions expressed to conform to display the rules. So you want to express certain emotions. You cannot. You have to conform to the rules of the organization. And what happens there? Dissonance happens. So there is an incongruence. So emotional dissonance arouse feelings of job dissatisfaction and reduced organizational commitment among high self-motivators. I'll give you an example. I don't know how many of you have been through it. Today only something happened with one of our clients for whom we had given training. कुछ तो हुआ था. The HR had told me to do something, I did, and the finance people interjected saying, this is not how we do it in this organization. So she called me up today and said, Swati ma'am, did your work happen? I said, no, your finance people are driving me crazy. And then she said, no ma'am, 2 दिन में हो जाएगा, and this is so frustrating, so irritating. What happens? A self-motivated person will want to do things his or her way, right? The tested way, their own experience. And then there will be this rules of the organization. वहां पे major emotional dissonance. You want to do things your way, organization wants you to come into their frame and work in their way. Frustration starts from there. You will not believe, I read it somewhere, I don't know how authentic it is. I think I was reading a book on entrepreneurs and it was mentioned most of the startups and unicorns have been created by people who have moved out of organizations due to emotional dissonance. They had ideas, they were self-motivated, they wanted to do something, organization would put their own conformity, and when this did not match, discontentment, frustration, and they moved out.
Yes.
And this happens. छोटा होता है, शुरू में वो बहुत छोटी चीज होती है and then becomes big. And what does then emotional intelligence say? Emotional intelligence refers to the ability to identify and manage one's own as well as the emotions of others. That is what I told. It's just not what Swati is feeling. She also needs to know what the other person is feeling. So it is the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions as well as emotions of the other people they are with. Now, what is the time, if somebody can tell me? Let me.
7:48.
7:46 in my watch.
7:40. Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Is it 7:46? Okay.
Yeah.
Now we haven't done something. Let us do something interesting. I'm giving you a quiz. I'm putting it in the chat box. How emotionally intelligent are you? And this is for your own knowledge. I really don't want to know. How much time will you take to do the quiz? Is my question. 5 minutes? Till 8? Can you see the link?
Yes, ma'am.
So should we start? 4 minutes बहुत होगा. It's a very small quiz for you to know what is your emotional intelligence score. I hope it's opening. Sometimes the links खुलते नहीं है, you know. Register नहीं है. It is a open for all link, right?
It will not become deficiency when criticized.
Honestly, do honestly, because it's your own way of knowing what is your emotional intelligence.
Now, what is the meaning of defensive?
Whenever we say something, we start protecting ourselves. Defensive हो जाता है. अरे नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. If somebody criticizes, right? If let's say one of you tells me, अरे मैम ये PPT तो ठीक नहीं है. I said नहीं मैंने तो इतने सारे classes में पढ़ाया है. This is good. So I start defending myself. Did that help you?
Ma'am, what is setbacks?
Excuse me?
Setbacks. What is setbacks?
Can you just write it in the chat box? But I think your voice is vibrating. I'm unable to get the word.
Now, what is the meaning of high handle setbacks?
Setbacks means जब हम कुछ करने जा रहे हैं और वो चीज नहीं होती है. Setback means you are doing something and you are set back because that thing doesn't work out. For example, how many of you have made a dish? घर में कभी कोई चीज बनाया है जो खराब बनी हो? बड़ी मेहनत करके बनाया है खराब बनी हो? I don't know. मेरे से तो पहले initially बनाती थी केक बन जाता था.
हर दिन का काम है मैम मेरा तो. क्योंकि I started cooking. It's been just a month or
the
something.
aim was to make a cake और बन जाता था pudding. So that is the setback. That you have started to do something, you don't get the result, you actually go back. Does that answer the definition?
No, ma'am, I laugh like anything. My husband will be like, I'll eat and I'll go to hospital.
So you got the meaning of setback?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Wonderful.
ma'am.
Wonderful.
मामा एयर ग्रेवियंस स्किलफुल मतलब?
एक मिनट बेटा, क्या बोल रहे हो?
आई एयर ग्रेवियंस स्किलफुली.
मतलब अगर आपको कोई भी ग्रीवांस होता है, ग्रीवांस मतलब किसी भी तरह की प्रॉब्लम होती है, तो आप उसको बहुत स्किलफुली बोलते हैं. यू डोंट से कि अरे ये चीज खराब है. यू आर नॉट अग्रेसिव, यू आर नॉट ऑफेंसिव, बट आप बहुत स्किलफुली बोलते हो. मतलब
ओके मैम, गॉट इट.
इमोशनली बोलते हो विदाउट हर्टिंग द अदर पर्सन. आप लोग का हो जाए तो ये ग्रीवांस स्किलफुली का आपको एक एग्जांपल दूंगी. Don't know what's happening today. Is it the net or is it Zoom? It's getting stuck. My PPTs also are getting stuck.
Madam, I did my.
You did? Wonderful. So all of you done?
Yes, ma'am. हो गया.
Very good. मजा आया? Genuinely लिया?
Yes, ma'am. सही था सब.
सब सही था? Good. तो तुम लोगों को अब पता है तुम लोग कितने इमोशनली मैच्योर हो, इमोशनली इंटेलिजेंट हो. So now let us look a little more into emotional intelligence. So you've already checked your emotional intelligence score. So let us look into what does it really have. Look at this screen. This is the crux of learning emotional intelligence. Which one, according to you, is a major emotion? So sorry, my cold and cough now, they're really jamming me up. Which one, according to you, is a major emotional weakness? आप सब सिर्फ relate करो. मैं किसी को नहीं बोलूंगी chat box में कुछ लिखने. I don't know what's happening to me. I do not find any point about the way you feel. Just don't feel like doing anything with life. I don't know how to feel empowered. I don't care what you feel. If any point in life, anyone here has felt any of these, I have felt. There was a time when I was in this zone of I don't care what you feel. You know, I'm at a particular position. I'm supposed to deliver. You don't come and bug me. I don't care. So I have been in this I don't care zone for quite some time before I got a grip on my emotional, reaction. So if you say, I don't know what's happening to me, then my dear friend, you do not know your emotions. You are totally clueless about your emotion. Just don't feel like doing anything with life. You can't manage your emotions. I do not find any point about the way you feel. What do you think it is? It is can't recognize and understand others' emotions. I
Exactly.
don't know how to feel empowered is you can't motivate yourself. I don't care what you feel is the last. Can't manage relationships. That is others' emotion. And trust me, my dear friends, the best of the leaders usually are stuck in the fifth one. Understanding the emotions of others. अपना सब समझ रहे हैं, दूसरे का समझने का challenge है. And if you really want to be successful, you have to be powerful in the fifth only. Managing relationships and others' emotions. More than sympathy, I would say connect. Sympathy, empathy की भी जरूरत नहीं है बेटा. Just be aware. What is that person feeling? So the 5 domain of emotional intelligence as per Daniel Coleman: know your emotions, manage your emotions, motivate yourself, recognize and understand others' emotions, and manage relationships. Just manage others' emotions. You can take a screenshot if you want. This is okay. This is a public information. I mean, this is a book from which I have taken, so nothing created by me as such. So manage relationships, when we say, trust me, many people have told this to me after I spoke on this topic. Is it really easy to understand people? Do your parents even understand you? They have created you. And if I genuinely ask the questions,
Sometimes not, ma'am. No, sometimes not.
Actually, my dear friends, no one can understand the other person ever. Because there is always this one shade of human being which is only for them to know. हम खुद को भी कभी-कभी नहीं समझ पाते हैं. Why are we being what we are being? So in emotional intelligence, we say rather than understand the people, connect with what emotions they are going through. It may be if it's anger, like I think Debashish asked me about jealousy, ma'am. Have you ever been through it? Yes, I can connect with the jealousy factor because there is a emotion which I have shared with someone. But to understand why a person became jealous is a huge call, right? It's a huge
100%.
Okay, Mr. Kumar says this is complicated. What is complicated? Mr. Kumar, if I may ask you. Nothing is complicated. Everything is simple. You know, there's a saying, life becomes as complicated as you make it and life becomes as simple as you want it to be. Same is with human emotions. If somebody is angry, follow these 5 principles. Simple.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Be aware how you will react first. तुम्हें क्या होने वाला है वो सबसे पहले सोचो before even going to talk to the person. If you know that if the person doesn't connect with you in the first 5-10 minutes, तुमको खुद बहुत गुस्सा आने वाला है, stay out of it. Rather than make it even a bigger mess. So know your emotions first. मैनेज योर इमोशंस. अपने इमोशंस को समझो, फिर अपने इमोशंस को मैनेज करो. सबसे बड़ी बात है, I don't know why we feel embarrassed in saying कि I'm emotional person. Trust me, we all are emotional person. Human
Yes.
beings are driven by emotions. And if somebody says, are you emotional? No, I'm a very practical person. Therefore, we say, manage your emotions. You can only do it if you recognize your emotions. So recognize your emotions. Know your emotions. Then manage your emotions. Then motivate yourself. Say, okay, there is an emotional thing. I need to work upon it. Then recognize and understand others' emotions. Recognize करो. And ये जो understand बोलते हैं ना हम, उस इमोशन में अगर आपने कभी कुछ फील किया तो उससे कोरिलेट करो. Exactly what the person is going through समझना is a tough call. Then manage the relationship. फिर आप दूसरों के इमोशंस को मैनेज करिए.
Compromise.
नहीं बेटा, not compromise, just manage. मैं तुम्हें अपना एग्जांपल देती हूँ. That time I was much younger and I was just manager HR in an organization. And something had happened, somebody had said something, and there was a lot of emotional distress to a person. And I called that person to my office and I said, you know what? Sit here and cry as much as you want. No problem. This is tissue paper. This is bell. Ring the bell. Call for a tea. Call for a coffee. Call for water. जब पूरा रो लो, जब तुम्हें पूरा जो भी इमोशंस से ड्रेन आउट हो जाओ, then give me a call. I'll come back and speak to you. So it is about giving people that space and being connected to them. What do we say? What is the usual thing? अगर कोई, unfortunately, अगर कोई बंदा आता है, बंदा as in a boy comes and says, I'm feeling emotionally vulnerable. अरे क्या यार? Men don't cry. What is wrong with you?
Chill,
Never.
Mara. Just chill it. Just chill it.
Just chill. Sometimes just chill can become very dangerous. So don't chill. Manage the relationship. Manage the other person's emotion. And the you know what happens? You can take a screenshot of this. I will not get into too much detail. When we are in this 5 zone, you are the leader. You are total in control of outcome that happens around you. Because if you look at it carefully, self-awareness, know yourself, the ability to recognize and understand your moods, emotions, and drives, as well as their effect on others. Just imagine how powerful you will become. If you know तुम क्या करते हो, उससे दूसरे को क्या होता है, you can actually control so many things. Then self-regulation, the ability to control or redirect disruptive impulses and moods, the propensity to suspend judgment and to think before acting. So just take a screenshot. You can read it later. It's there in the book also. And remember, when you're dealing with people at emotional level, always connect. Never get into the zone of, अच्छा ये रो रहा है, मुझे तो इसको चुप कराना है. It's not that. और ये upset है, अरे किसी तरह इसको खुश करो so that the work can continue. So the 4 quadrants somebody had asked me. These are the 4 quadrants: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. And my dear friends, where do we falter? Can you take a guess? Which quadrant mostly I have seen people struggle with? This and this entire thing. You all are very good with this. Who you are quite okay with this. You are good with this because if you want to be in the organization, you need to know. Here is where the challenge comes. And it's maybe there are 2 departments which are a big thing. One is conflict and one is teamwork. The best emotional, mature person also, I think, comes and trips here. Empathy is a good word to hear. How many of us are able to practice this is the bigger question, isn't it? Right or wrong? It's very smart to say, be empathetic. How many of us are empathetic? So to take you through, I don't know if some of you have seen this movie. This is one of my favorites when I teach emotional intelligence or talk of emotional intelligence, the quadrants I spoke of, how difficult it is sometimes to be empathetic. This movie is Inside Out, a beautiful movie if you can see it. I haven't seen a better movie for emotional intelligence. Just look at this clip.
Wait! Riley and I were still using that rocket. It still has some song power left. Who's your friend who likes to play? No! No, you can't take my rocket to the top! Riley and I are going to the moon! Riley can't be done with me.
Hey, it's gonna be okay. We can fix this. We just need to get back to headquarters.
This is us always. If somebody's upset on something, we say it's okay. It'll work out. Don't worry. Let's go on with our work.
Which way to the train station?
I had a whole trip planned for us.
Hey, who's ticklish, huh? Here comes the tickle monster.
I'm sorry they took your rocket.
And this is what you got to really become if someone is upset.
They took something that you loved. It's gone. Forever.
Sadness. Don't make him feel worse.
Sorry.
It's all I had left of Riley.
I bet you and Riley had great adventures.
Oh, they were wonderful. Once we flew back in time. We had breakfast twice that day.
Sadness.
It sounds amazing. I bet Riley liked it.
Oh, she did. We were best friends.
Yeah, it's sad.
I'm okay now. Come on. The train station is this way.
So it's just being there for a person that really makes a world of difference. A lot of time we, in our busy schedules, we want to just keep on moving on and on and on with life. It's all about just sitting there with your colleague, your friend, or whoever is feeling emotionally vulnerable. I can feel, you can feel, anybody can feel emotionally vulnerable at any point of time. I can't say that, I'm also always emotionally on top of the grid. But as I said, be there for your people. You have to be, empathy is, I want to show this to you because that is what it's all about. Empathy is sensing others' emotions, not understanding them, their perspective of why they are behaving in a particular way. And why I like this scene is because the scene also helps me tell you all that, sometimes in life, it is emotionally intelligent to be sad. Sadness is not weakness. I don't know from where all these cliches have come and why they have come. But they're there, they're just floating, right? Being sad is weak. Being, emotionally vulnerable is weak. These are all human nature. Until you're aware of what is going on in your mind, can you really do something? Tell me that. दिमाग में झंझट है, दिमाग में घंटी बज रही है, दिमाग में स्ट्रेस है, काम कर पाओगे क्या? नहीं कर पाओगे. So why deny?
I will take break.
Excuse me?
I will take break.
You will take a break. You should. Whatever works for you, my dear. I was really taken aback when I was in an organization and I was head of HR, but then the CEO was above me. And one of our teammates, marketing person, had a breakup. And he just came up to me one day and he said, you know what? So they used to call me Gautam by my maiden surname. Said, you know what, Gautam, I need a break, yaar. I just want to, drive down somewhere, be alone. And I inherently said, yes, you should. You should. You want a break? Go, man. Cry your heart out. Drink yourself to sleep. Go crazy. Just go and get it out of your system. The next day I saw him in the office. I said, what are you doing here? I thought you were taking office. Like the CEO said, this is not how mature people behave. I felt so helpless. So I went to the CEO. I said, no, how can you even do this to him? He needs this space. You know, he's in marketing, it's our peak season. How can you even encourage this? And me being me, I just call up the owner of the company. And he used to be in Chennai, our office was in Mumbai. And I said, you know what, this is happening. And as an HR, as someone who respects people's boundaries, I think we need to give him a break before he cracks. And I think I was very lucky because he related to what I was saying. And he said, you know what, sanction his leave. I'll talk to the CEO. If this boy is suffering, let him go. So sometimes you should just let people grieve. You should just let people be. And do not, you know, all of you, especially people who are here talking to me today, don't ridicule them for being sad. Sadness is just one of the emotions. बहुत बार होता है ना, I don't know तुम लोगों ने कभी फेस किया है कि नहीं. I heard in one of my organizations, क्या यार तू लड़की के पीछे इतना रो रहा है. I was like, that's okay. I mean, that those are his emotions. I don't know, तुम लोग ने शायद बोला होगा. I have no clue. I don't know why boys say certain things. And you know what happened? Unfortunately, that boy couldn't take. He attempted suicide. He survived because for him suddenly his world was over and people are also, you know, barging him. He just couldn't take it. So let's be conscious that what we say really makes a lot of impact on people. So before I move on to mental imprint and how you're going to deal with your emotions and how you can achieve your emotional mastery, I'm showing you my favorite clip when it comes to emotional intelligence. This is the best that I have seen. Oh, the volume is not there. Wait.
Can I say something? I'm the type of person, if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you that I don't know. But I bet you what? I know how to find the answer, and I will find the answer. Is that fair enough? I can do it.
No, you can't. No one can. It's bullshit.
No, I'm pretty sure I can do it.
No, you can't.
Let me see it. Give it here.
Oh, listen, we can drive around all day.
Yeah, I can.
टाइम झाड़ू मारो तो भी कम है. हम इंसान है कि मशीन? कितना टाइम साफ करेगा? मैं मरता रहूंगा दिन भर, झाड़ू मारता रहूंगा. सब यहीं से जाएंगे, दूसरी जगह से नहीं जा सकते. अरे उधर मत चलो, अभी साफ किया है. सॉरी. क्या सॉरी? तुम तो सॉरी बोल के निकल जाएगा. सबका क्रिकेट अपन को सुनना पड़ेगा. सुनेगा? 30 साल से तो सुनता आया है.
काका, नाम क्या है तुम्हारा?
क्यों? कंप्लेन करने का है? मकसूद नाम है मेरा. जाओ करो.
कंप्लेन नहीं करने का, थैंक यू बोलने का. सच्ची. तुम बहुत मस्त काम करते हैं मकसूद भाई. पेशेंट लोग जब ठीक होता है तो सब डॉक्टर को थैंक यू बोलता है. तुम साला सबका कचरा पट्टी उठाता है, तुमको कोई थैंक यू नहीं बोलता. मेरे को तुमको थैंक यू बोलने का मकसूद भाई. थैंक यू मकसूद भाई.
So these are real things in life. You can change the world. You can change the world just by changing your mental imprint first. Anything. Sometimes
जादू की झप्पी.
जादू की झप्पी is the emotional intelligence keyword, my dear. Difficult से difficult लोगों को तुम change कर सकते हो, you know that, and it works. It is not something out of the air I'm talking about. We have worked on it where people who are like difficult, matlab you can't even imagine. They have also accepted the ideas, respected the ideas, and gone ahead and become team players. So it all starts from us, you know. Like now I'm taking you through a very brief element of NLP, though this is just a part, very small part. What we say is it is all in our mental imprint. Your brain imprint needs to change from not okay to okay. The day you go from not okay to okay, trust me, you will be absolutely emotionally mature. Because it's just changing. Even if I'm emotionally low now, still I can choose to feel better. Not okay to okay. You have to tell that to yourself. Like I was telling her that today I will tell you, if you're depressed, how will you move from here to there? I'm not feeling good. I'm having pain. So with this pain, I could have easily said, okay, somebody else can take the session. I said, no, that's okay. Let me choose to feel better. Let me choose to feel more empowered and make this your mantra. I think you all must be knowing the okay choral. I hope so. I mean, we do this in our MBA. Always be with I am okay, you are okay. When you are in I am okay, you are in the healthiest position because you are emotionally stable and you are making everyone around you emotionally stable. So if I ask you, what are the two major emotional challenges of youth? You, for me, all of you are youth and young. What are the two major emotional challenges, if I may ask? क्या होगा? आप लोग किसको वोट देंगे? कौन से दो challenges हैं हमारे लाइफ के अभी के टाइम पे, अभी के काम के हिसाब से? Your vote goes to what two challenges?
मैम बॉयफ्रेंड छोड़ के चला जाएगा तो
लाइफ बहुत अच्छी हो जाएगी बेटा. You can find another one. You will have opportunity.
चला जाएगा तो दूसरा मिल जाएंगे.
लेकिन बॉयफ्रेंड छोड़ के चला जाएगा तो क्या होता है? डिप्रेशन हो जाता है. ओके, एंगर एंड स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट, वेरी गुड.
फिर और कोई मिल जाएगा क्या?
हाँ,
बॉयफ्रेंड का ज्यादा नहीं सोचने का बेटा.
टेंशन नहीं लेने का.
देखो सुब्रत भी बोल रहा है, बीइंग अ बॉय.
हाँ, इतना टेंशन नहीं. जब उसको मिल गया तो तुम्हें भी मिल जाएगा. व्हाट्स द प्रॉब्लम? तो उसको मिल गया.
as long as you are emotionally set.
बट मैम सुब्रत भाई ने अरेंज मैरिज किया है.
You know why? Can I tell you the reason? I don't know whether Subrat will agree or not, but I have a theory on it. Do you really want to know? Then
Yes,
I will
ma'am.
tell.
Yes.
Because that's
Yeah,
not part of your emotional
Yes, ma'am.
intelligence.
I'll be happy. Please,
I'll
please.
tell you the reason why people talk of arranged marriage. Because if you do love marriage and उसमें कुछ तुम्हारा problem होता है, your parents turn and say खुद कियो खुद भुगतो. If you do arranged marriage और उसमें कुछ होता है ना, there are two sets of parents जिसको तुम बिठा सकते हो. आप लोग किए, अब आप लोग करो. It's just having a backup mechanism, fallback mechanism. अभी headache हो रहा है, अभी solve करो.
Ma'am, I have a point on that.
Yes,
Actually, if you done arranged marriage or love marriage, okay, when the two wives, the one who is on arranged marriage and the one who is on love marriage, they have same complaint about their husband, and their husband have the same complaint about their wife.
Right.
There is no difference after marriage.
No difference, but बेटा मैं बता रही हूँ, मेरे घर में हुआ है. This is I have had a love marriage. I'm from North India, married to a South Indian, and very initial, yes, future planning. Very initial in marriage, my father-in-law said, "See, you guys have gotten married. We did not choose. Don't come to us if you have a problem. Solve it. If we had selected her for you, then you could have come and said that, Papa, you selected the wrong girl."
मैम,
Insurance callback. नहीं बोलो बेटा.
लव कुछ होता है मैम? मैम सॉरी, लव कुछ होता है?
See, everything, if you ask me, is
as
in
per
the
my
mind.
point, there is no love attractive us, nothing else.
That is again your perception of the world. There are many people, even I believe in love, because there are many ways of love.
So then
some people love food.
Yes, madam.
Love is an emotion. Love is not a word. When you make it a transactional thing, कि I love you, so marry me, वो एक अलग चीज है. If you look at love, Subrat, just listen to me. Love of God is the biggest love. You know, engineers, doctors, they become ISKCON ka temple ka priest out of love for Krishna. People love food so much कि उनका 120 किलो वजन हो जाता है. They just don't stop eating. People love perfumes. People love shoes. People love people. People love dresses. Love is the feeling of something that gives you happiness. It's a state of mind.
Yes, ma'am, you are right. I am talking about life partner. Some example, ये सब्यसाची our ओडिया film industry hero.
I have no
वो
clue.
लव मैरिज किए थे, ठीक है. देन कॉलेज फ्रेंड थी तो लव मैरिज किए. देन हाउ डिड इट हैपन इट अगेन? And just like
There's something very
Anubhav,
simple you have to understand, Subrat. Every relationship, and I'm sorry to say we are on air, but my learning is when it comes to relationship, every relationship is transactional, even a parent and child. A child loves the
that's
parent as long as the parent takes care of the child.
exactly. तो वो second love
Subrat,
marriage.
Yes, ma'am.
Subrat,
Yes, ma'am.
you know Sabyasachi personally?
So what happens, Subrata, that
No,
every
no,
relationship you
I
form.
just gone to read about her Sabyasachi because he's
No,
my
no,
favorite hero.
general.
नो
It
नो
is general,
एक्चुअली
but
कहने वाले तो कुछ भी कहते हैं. सब्यसाची को मैं थोड़ा बहुत पर्सनली जानती हूँ. वो एक्चुअली वो पहले जो मैरिज किए थे अरेंज मैरिज ही किए थे. उनके घर वालों की दूर का रिश्तेदार कोई था तो उसकी लड़की से वो मैरिज किए थे. तो उनका
So
अरेंज मैरिज था तो वो
what
अच्छा
about
नहीं
for
टीका.
Anubhav? What about for Anubhav? Can you just
हम
tell
टॉपिक
me?
के ऊपर चलते हैं.
हाँ, मैं इमोशनली
एक मिनट सुब्रत. एक्चुअली
Yes.
मैं रेडियो चॉकलेट सुनना बहुत पसंद करती हूँ. तो एक बार मैं सुन रही थी तो द रेडियो जॉकी वाज आई थिंक आरजे संग्राम.
Yes.
तो अनुभव महांती ने कॉल किया था और बोला
Yes.
कि एक्चुअली मैं सॉरी बोलना चाहती हूँ क्योंकि मुझे एंगर इश्यूज है और मैं उनको बहुत पसंद करती हूँ. नाम नहीं लिया उन्होंने और मैं उनको तभी उनका शादी भी नहीं हुआ था. तो मुझे
Okay.
बहुत एंगर इश्यूज है और मैं सॉरी बोलना चाहती हूँ. मैंने आज बहुत ज्यादा ही गुस्सा कर लिया कुछ. तो इसमें आप सोच लो कि उनके साथ रहना कितना मुश्किल है. तो वो किस हद तक शायद किसी को ब्लैकमेल भी किए होंगे कि इमोशनल ब्लैकमेल किए होंगे कि मेरे साथ तुम मुझसे शादी करो या जो भी करो. तो ये तो मैं पर्सनली सुनी हूँ तो मैं तो यही मानती हूँ कि वो कर सकते हैं.
Madhusmita, just leave it. This topic we'll discuss
No,
separately.
I'll
This
tell
and
you,
this.
no, don't leave it. Learn something from this. We cannot comment
Actually,
on. No,
your
Madhusmita,
perspective.
let me finish. You have heard
Yes,
half,
yes, yes,
he has
sure,
heard
ma'am,
half.
sure.
मैम चला गया
If
लॉन
you
सीखने.
really want to be a leader with an this is emotional immaturity, both of you just showed. You have a perception of something, a classic, therefore I let them speak. Both of you have your own belief system and values, and you are judging a third person. Without data, without logic, without knowing what is going on in their life. So what we say is, if you remember my first slide, give people their space as long as they are not interfering in your life and your world. Because everybody has an NLP. If you go online and Google NLP presuppositions, first statement says everybody has their unique model of the world. And because everybody has chosen to live life in a particular way, whether it is love, whether it is kindness, whether it is everything will have two versions based on your beliefs. Many people say, I will die for someone in love. That is their choice to live their life that way. Many people say, I can't love anything more than money. I will choose money over love. That is their choice to live. So, why I let this conversation happen is, as an emotionally mature person, you have to let people be in their emotional space. When we start getting involved without any reason, hum toxic ho jate hain, right? So we become toxic. I'll give you an example. Because today is emotional intelligence, therefore I encourage this. Usually I don't. A friend of mine kept on hearing about a marriage discord, huh? Group में होता है ना, मेरे husband ऐसे करते हैं, वैसा करता है, कुछ. And I kept telling in the group, do not discuss your personal life because everybody has their own way of living. We are all different. But you know, people keep on. इतना discussion हुआ कि एक happy, healthy marriage was about to be destroyed because she started hallucinating कि मेरे husband भी ऐसा करता होगा. Remember, be emotionally mature. If your life is running fine, if your wife chooses to tell you or husband chooses to tell you or your partner chooses to tell you that you are their world, believe it. Because none of us know what the real world is. And if you all can do a very small exercise, this is an NLP exercise, but the best to give you what reality is. People who are off camera also, if you can honestly do. And if some people can come on camera and do, and Subrat is already on camera. You can put it in the chat box where Samir has come, Dev has come. Now we have 3 people. Now just let me do a very small exercise with all of you to understand what is the reality we look at and what really is the reality of life. So if I may just request all the three of you to close your eyes first, and rest all of you look at the three gentlemen here. Close your eyes, and with your right hand index finger, point where you can see Australia. All three of you with your eyes closed. ऊपर करके finger कर दीजिए so that everyone in the group can see. Okay, Samir I can see, Subrat I can see, and now you open your eyes. All three of you.
No, madam, because I'm now in Africa, so I'm thinking that
exactly.
India is there. Africa
My dear friends, Australia is exactly where Australia is. It has not moved from its place. You understand? So reality is a construct of our experience and our perception. Everybody is reality. Therefore, we say everybody has a unique model of their world. They have their own. Australia is still there, right, Samir? If you are in Africa, I am in India. Australia तो वही है ना, वो move तो किया नहीं है वहां से. For someone it's there, for someone it's there, for someone it's there. Because in our mind, our experience and perceptions are creating reality. So we say reality is a construct of our mind. So we change our mind and we change our reality. It's
Yes,
as
ma'am.
simple as that.
Ma'am, can I take 2 seconds?
Oh yes, please do.
मैं I was just giving example. मैं ना सबसे अच्छे अनुभव बोथ आर माय फेवरेट हीरो. एंड वो अगर जो कर रहे वो अच्छा है, बट उनको नहीं बना तो दूसरा कर रहे, मैरिज कर रहे. मैं भी इसको सपोर्ट करता हूँ. आई एम नॉट जस्ट डिनाइंग दिस. मैं भी सपोर्ट करता हूँ. लेट अगर है नहीं तो जस्ट ठीक है उसको, मतलब अगर वो जा रहे, मैं इस चीज को सपोर्ट करता हूँ उनको. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि मेरा फेवरेट हीरो इसलिए, बट एनीवन कैन. अगर तुम्हारा नहीं चल रहा तो देन यू कैन जस्ट गो अहेड.
See, I have a very simple theory. All of you are 18 plus, right?
Yes.
I had told my son that, beta, once you are 18 plus, whatever you do in life, you are responsible for it. So do whatever gives you happiness. Do not come back to me and tell solve my problem. If government can give you the right to vote and form a government at 18, if government can give you the right to get a driving license at 18, boss, you get the right to drive your own life. Be responsible for your decisions. That's it. And I end there. I don't judge people. Once you are 18 plus, everything you do is your own doing.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is emotional intelligence. Let people be happy in their own space. As long as in some way it is not contradicting your life. If it does, handle it intelligently in a way that the outcome is well sorted. I hope that helped all of you. Now I'm asking you that what are the two things? I saw stress, I saw anger. What else?
I think there are two things in young people. One is the career objective or career goal, like settling down or finding a good job in finance. And second one is finding a life partner for someone, or finding a,
finding a life partner is such a sometimes stressful thing, na? Very stressful thing. It's even more stressful than a job. Because job में तो आप किसी और के कंपनी का काम खराब करोगे, लाइफ पार्टनर में तो अपना ही लाइफ खराब करोगे.
एक्चुअली मैम, अगर ये स्ट्रेसफुल सिचुएशन नहीं होता है तो भारत मैट्रिमोनी और जो मैट्रिमोनी साइड से उनका व्यापार नहीं चलता.
Okay, so in my study, what I studied, there are two things which came out very strongly with the youth. The first is depression and the second is anger. Due to mostly being in virtual world, youth is totally prone towards depression. And how to deal with the depression? Whoever wants can take a screenshot. Reach out to people and stay connected. Do things that make you feel good. Get moving. Make yourself get up, get out of the room and do things. Eat a healthy depression fighting diet. There are certain diets which make you depressive. There are certain diets which make you healthy and depression free. Get a daily dose of sunlight. Do sit in the sunlight. My dear friends, there is nothing more powerful to cleanse you of any negative energy than our proper sunlight. Challenge negative thinking. If your mind is telling you something negative, tell your mind, no, that is not true. I hope you've taken a screenshot if anyone wanted to take. How to deal with the anger? Understand that anger is a problem. The biggest thing we don't understand, my dear friends, is that anger is a problem. If it is habitual, if it is happening again and again and again, if it is impacting your life in a way that you are unable to move forward, definitely trust me, anger is a big problem. How many of you have ever thought of anger as a problem? Or you think कि कभी कभी तो गुस्सा आता है चलता है, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
नहीं actually madam क्या है?
No, ma'am, anger is a big
actually,
problem.
One at a time.
so many people.
Here to all of you, one at a time. Yes. Yeah. Tell me.
Actually, what happened, madam?
Mhm.
In work, when we have anger, trying things, so some good relations became bad relations.
Absolutely.
That is one point, and second, your behavioral effect among your team and among your all subordinates. It's getting bad effect also.
Relationship
Because your subordinate want to say something, he cannot say because you will show anger to him or her.
उनको लगेगा
So
you may get angry, ना?
Yes, मैं ऐसा फेस कर रहा हूँ. Actually क्या है, मैं थोड़ा सा हार्डली बोलता हूँ, लाउड बोलता हूँ, तो मेरा टीममेट्स आते नहीं, वो चीजें छोटी-छोटी चीज लेके, वो एक प्रॉब्लम है मेरे लिए.
You know what? The easiest thing to do. So I'll give you something, info which you will never guess. I'm basically a combination of UP and Bihar. And Biharis have a loud voice. So when I was in HR and I started my career, I would be so loud. And everybody will be like, why is she shouting? And then I was working in London, the London ambulance service. And one day one person said that, why do you shout at people? I said, I'm just talking. He said, no, you're shouting. You want me to record? I mean, you're standing at the door and we can hear you in the pantry. And I was so embarrassed. Then I stood in front of the mirror and started modulating my voice. Because what I realized, that my colleague Russell was worse than me in behavior. And he was extremely soft-spoken. So no one ever took objection to him saying nasty things. और मैं ढंग की चीज भी बोलूंगी ना कि this time and let us gear up for it. They will be like, why are you shouting? Why are you being so authoritative? Why are you being so rude? So it is all in our hands. It's all in our hands. Modulate your voice. I'm telling you today, pick up a newspaper, stand in front of the mirror, consciously tell your mind, I'm going to speak slow. I'm going to take a pause. I'm not going to raise my voice. And read that news article. Watch yourself in a month's time, how your pitch, your tonality, your intonations, everything will change. And the biggest problem with anger, my dear friend, it's not only about your team fearing to come near you, it's your health. You know what anger does? It shoots up.
True,
and
ma'am.
that is
I can relate it. I can relate
very
it.
dangerous for your
situation.
heart.
I can relate it.
Very dangerous. Anger is something I always tell people, be careful. Be careful, because it not only harms your relationship, it not only bothers the person in front of you, it harms you too. सबसे ज्यादा पता है एंगर किसको तकलीफ देता है?
खुद को.
आपको. मैंने बहुत बार लोगों को देखा है कि आफ्टर दे आर एंग्री, in one of my research I saw, they were shivering with anger, you know that? And it took them 10 minutes to cool down. I was like, my God, how dangerous it is for, have you, anyone here ever gone to that pitch where you start shaking?
यस मैम एक्चुअली मुझे है, मतलब हमेशा ऐसे नहीं होती हूँ, पर कभी कभी इतना ज्यादा गुस्सा आ जाता है कि मैं ऐसे ही हो जाती हूँ, पर खुद ही मतलब ऐसे चुप रह के कुछ रहना पड़ता है.
वो भी ठीक नहीं है ना. If you keep quiet and you are angry from within, you're still harming your system. So ask yourself the question, why are you getting angry? कोई तो reason होगा ना. Do we get angry because we have nothing better to do?
No मैम, एक्चुअली रीजन तो होता है.
I'll tell you today how to control your anger. It's not very complicated. It's very simple. It is to do with being aware. Being aware how to stop, when to stop, And counting 1 to 100 and all that also works. Huh? These are not jokes. So understand that anger. First thing we say is, tell yourself that anger is a problem. I have a problem. I told myself I used to get not angry, but I used to get so frustrated that I would be like after my colleagues. You didn't do this. You didn't do this. Are you crazy? Are you mad? And they will be like, ma'am, आप इतने frustrate क्यों हो रहे हो? आपका BP shoot हो जाएगा. So understand that anger is a problem. पहले अपने को बोलो. बहुत से लोग बोलते नहीं हैं. Then monitor your anger. When are you getting angry? What is it that is making you angry? Monitor your anger. You feel the anger, but don't act on it. You know what you do? When you're really angry, keep a smiley ball or something on your table. When you're really angry, just pick it up and start pumping it. Feel angry, don't respond. Don't say anything. You know what happens there? I'll give you an example. I don't know how many of you know about medicine, but have you been to a doctor with a pain? कहीं पे दर्द हो रहा है?
Yes.
Brain can't process two pains together. You know that? So brain can't actually direct your emotions in two directions. So once you start doing this, your brain totally goes to the action of pumping the smiling ball. So the anger factor starts coming down. Before you respond, feel angry. I'm not saying do not get angry. Feel the anger, but don't act on it. तुरंत जवाब मत दो. Respond. Don't react.
Don't react. You should respond.
Yes. Watch yourself angry. We call
And
it
control your trigger points. Our training was on that.
Solana, many a times you actually can't control the trigger points. You can control the behavior that comes out of the trigger point. We have something known as swish in NLP. It's a technique which talks of controlling your behavior when you see a trigger. I'll give you an example. If your trigger point is your boss, what will you do? You can do nothing. What you
because
can do?
he was never been.
You can control your behavior. You can neutralize or you can bring down your response to his idiosyncrasy. You cannot change the boss all the time. You are in control of you, not others. So we say, watch yourself angry. Mirror के सामने खड़े होके पूरा गुस्सा हो. We call it the Federer cure. और जब तुम अपने आप को उस गुस्से में देखोगे ना, you would not want to be angry because you will be like, how ugly I look. And this works.
Don't tell that जो भी गुस्सा हो.
This technique is very
mirror के
practical.
सामने हो.
Yeah.
One day this happened.
The
I was
mirror
with a
technique is
passenger.
very practical.
Mirror technique is very practical. I had given it to someone and he called up and started crying. Ma'am, मैं इतना गंदा दिखता हूँ जब मैं लोगों पे चिल्लाता हूँ. I said, how do I know? I have never seen you shout at people. फिर मैं मिरर के सामने खड़े होके देखा. मैं बोला, ये माँ, मैं इतना बुरा दिखता हूँ. अभी मैं गुस्सा नहीं करूँगा. I want to look handsome. I said, don't get angry. Look after yourself. What we usually do once we are angry, we feel pity for the other person. कि अरे यार मैं क्यों चिल्लाया? No. Take a pause. Tell yourself, why did I do it? तो एक आपका सीन है ना, all is well. Those are not jokes. You know, those are actually time-tested things. If you're very angry at something, just say all is well, all is well. It's okay. होता है. Come on. Things can be better. Just have a self-talk.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Just
Excuse
take
me,
it
ma'am.
easy.
Yes,
I
Dave.
want to share my experience.
Yes, Dave. Please go ahead.
Once I was on leave and I was angry with my wife, and the anger point just crossed the limit. My wife smiled and told me, whenever you was angry, I made a video of you. I'll show it to you. I sent to you. Then I just felt laughter.
So you know, this really works. Subrata, you were going to share something.
No, ma'am. I just was saying, just take it easy, है ना? Just all is well.
All is well. What
Can I
like
add
mutton?
3 points?
तो मैम सुब्रत भाई जब एंग्री होता है ना,
हाँ.
तो उनका भाभी ने धो दाती है इनके.
वो सबका होता है बेटा. सबका होता है, that is the universal truth, उसको discussion ही नहीं करने का।
जब मैरिज जब शादी करोगे ना बेटा सब पता चलेगा सबका होता है।
इसीलिए मैंने बोला वो सबका होता है, there are certain universal truths
नहीं
we are not going to
भगवान
discuss
नहीं
here.
पार्वती भी शिव जी का किए थे, हम तो इंसान है।
इंसान है, true that. Somebody wanted
पार्वती
to
भी शिव
share
जी का किए थे।
Ma'am,
Yes,
I can
Praveen.
add 3
Yes.
points. Actually, I had anger issues before, but I taken that practical sessions sometimes, and it is more relieving now. So first point is, nowadays we use mobile phones regularly. So before bed, you must keep your mobile phones away. Don't use mobile phones in bed. That is creating stress in your eyes, and that is hampering your वो नींद खराब करते हैं। तो इसलिए आपका अगर नींद अच्छा नहीं होगा तो आपको सुबह अच्छा नहीं लगेगा। फर्स्ट पॉइंट। सेकेंड पॉइंट इज, जो भी पर्सन अर्ली उठते हैं या जब भी उठते हैं, जो पर्सन अर्ली उठते हैं वो 5 मिनट के लिए योगा कर सकते हैं, 5, 10, 15 मिनट जितना चाहे। योगा मतलब सिर्फ आपको बैठना है और खुद को काम करना है, आपको नर्व को काम करना है। जितना आप डीप ब्रेथ ले सकते हैं, बॉडी को उतना ऑक्सीजन दीजिए, ठीक है। तो इससे आपका नर्व जो होगा वो सब कंट्रोल हो जाएगा, रिलैक्स हो जाएगा। और जिसके पास टाइम नहीं है वो बेड में बैठ के भी खुद को रिलैक्स कर सकते हैं।
Okay.
Second point, and third point is drink plenty of water because it relieves your stress. When you feel stress, drink water, and it really helps you.
Wow, very nice of you to share.
These 3 points I
Very
am
nice.
using.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And always remember, all of you, what he has shared are very spiritually driven things, and sometimes we are not spiritual, and when we are in office and we are tested for our patience and you are at a point of cracking, you can use these.
Ma'am, I can give you example for this. The thing was, it was my first flight of my job, and I was like, I have anger issues a lot. I used to have. And then one day what happened, one of the passenger, he shouted like anything, and I didn't respond. I reacted against it, and it was like a viral video.
Oh,
and
you became
then,
a celebrity. That's cool.
Not at all cool. Then it was viral on Facebook, and then I
life if आपने कुछ कर दिया फिर वो cool हो गया. Make sure you don't.
Seriously, ma'am. Then I got into this training and all for 1 month to Delhi. I was enjoying either way, but still it was a hard moment for me because being a viral, it's like जो भी देखता है वो बोलता है वो तुम ही थे ना, वो तुम ही थे ना. Then it was like,
share that video with us.
I would not at all. I hate it because I throw the pen on the floor.
Kolana, can you please share in your group also, please?
I will tell you something, Kolana.
Yes, ma'am.
Hate that video. Watch it every time you get angry and say, I'm never gonna be like this.
Ma'am, trust me, now whatever you're gonna say, like passenger come and scold like anything, like you're this, you're that. So I was like, right now it's like, it's okay, Prashanti, calm down. Nothing gonna happen. ये कुछ भी नहीं कर सकता. छोड़ो. So now इतना भी बड़ा problem हो, madam. A flight got delayed for 7 hours and then cancelled. There were 200 passengers who were on me, including my manager. Only we both were there, but still we handled it so cool. Because I got into it, because वो habit हो गया, like 1, 2, 3, okay, it's been 4 years that I was working. तो हो गया मैडम, अभी घर पे भी कोई कुछ बोलता है तो अब गुस्सा नहीं आता, बल्कि चल छोड़ना.
हाँ, चल छोड़ना तो सबसे अच्छा होता है. And if you are emotionally mature, you will understand that half the things we get angry about is actually makes no difference to us.
Useless, ma'am. जो भी हम लोग गुस्सा करते हैं, useless.
We just want to react.
हम लोग किसी और चीज तरह से भी हम लोग उसको हैंडल कर सकते हैं. कि जो मेरे साथ हुआ था, I got to know कि मैं उसको किसी और तरह से भी हैंडल कर सकती थी. I should not be reacted and be famous. So
because my dear girl, it is about this. Anger कहीं का होता है, निकालते कहीं है हम लोग. We start our day, our car is not working, or the train gets late, or the bus gets late, or the bike doesn't start, or the breakfast is not served on time, or you don't find your favorite dress, you don't find your laptop on time, your shirt is not ironed, that is where it starts from. So understand the ultimate source of your anger.
And on that day, my problem started like I have tagged the wrong bag. Like a passenger need to go to Delhi, I have sent the bag to Amritsar.
I can tell you that the problem was not, it did not start there. It had started much before that. This was just a knee-jerk reaction, because most of the angry outbursts are knee-jerk reaction to something that has been happening in the background. Become less judgmental about situations and people. The less judgmental you become, the more easy it will be for you to deal with people and manage your anger. Think like a scientist, not a lawyer. हम तुरंत lawyer हो जाते हैं to find कौन सही है कौन गलत है. Be like a scientist and think what might have really happened, why this person did this. And trust me, I'll give you an example, 2 examples actually, which will open your eyes to how anger can be.
Share some practical example
Who's this?
with myself. Actually, मैं हिंदी में बोलता हूँ.
हाँ,
मैं
बोलो.
एक बार बैंक गया था, ठीक है. तो वहाँ पे जो मैनेजर थे उनका एक स्कीम आया था लाइफ इंश्योरेंस का. वो मुझे स्कीम बता रहे थे, बट मैंने उनसे 1-2 सवाल पूछ लिए उस स्कीम के बारे में. तो उन्होंने मुझे बोला कि नहीं नहीं ऐसा नहीं होता, वैसा नहीं होता, IRDA ऐसा आपको अप्रूव नहीं करता. मैंने बोला कि नहीं नहीं अदर स्कीम्स भी है जो ये अप्रूव करते हैं, आपके स्कीम में है या नहीं. वो बोला नहीं नहीं तुम नहीं जानते, तुम जाओ यहाँ से. तो वो बहुत रूडली मेरे साथ बिहेव किया, तो मैं चला आया. उसके बाद मैंने अपने फ़ोन में वो सारे जो स्कीम थे उनको भी दिखाया कि ये सारे स्कीम है. तो वो तब भी मानने के लिए नाराज थे कि नहीं ये नहीं हो सकता. तो मुझे तो गुस्सा आ रहा था, मगर मैंने अपने आप को कंट्रोल किया और उनका जो हेल्पलाइन नंबर था वहाँ पे कंप्लेन कर दिया, यानी कि जो कंप्लेन नंबर था उस पर कंप्लेन कर दिया. तो उसके अगले दिन शाम को वो मैनेजर मुझे कॉल करके सॉरी बोल रहा है.
ये तो बहुत डिफरेंट चीज हुई. What examples I share ना, you guys will feel कि how we really behave. Anger is something that takes away the whole logic of thinking. So one day I came back from college a little late. There was something happening in the college, and I saw my son is sitting on the sofa watching something. He was, I think, 7, and eating a big box of chips. खोल के, and he had finished, and there was a Coke ka bottle, and I flew into major anger. I gave him left, right, and center, and he started crying. He said, "Mama, suno to." I said, "Just shut up." So I just, for 10 minutes, I thrashed him. I've never hit him in life, but verbally, I thrashed him like anything. And he's crying, crying, and crying. And after that, he said, "Mama, it's already 8:30. Didi was not feeling well. She did not cook the dinner. She went off to sleep, and I was feeling hungry." Just imagine how bad I felt. That is what we do. We don't know the background of people. We just get into judgmental mode. किसने ऐसा किया है मतलब ये बुरा ही होगा. Don't do. This is the first experience I had, which taught me that be little cautious. First ask why. What really happened before you flew your handle that he had some health issues at that point. He was not supposed to eat all that, and I just flew into anger. Second, when I was director of an institute, I did not allow a student to appear for the midterms because attendance was less. So she kept on coming outside my office to talk, and my registrar was like, "Ma'am is very busy. She does not have time. You should have maintained your 75% attendance." She kept saying कि नहीं मुझे मैम से एक बार बात करना है. I'm sure once ma'am listened, but I was very angry because she had this habitual from the first semester. She had this habit of being late, of missing lectures. So just 2 days before the exam, she got up the courage to give me a call, because my students usually never called me. So I picked up the call and she said, "Ma'am, I'm so and so." I said, "What is it? Why are you calling me?" "Ma'am, I've been coming to meet you, and the registrar ma'am is not allowing to meet, and she's saying that I'm blacklisted," and which is true. She said, "Ma'am, I just need you to listen to me for 1 minute. I know you're very angry with my behavior." I said, What do you want me to know?" And then she shared that how her mother was hospitalized from the last 6 months, and she used to cook for her brothers, sisters, father, send them to office, send them to school, pack her own things and come. And then I realized again my anger was based on a judgment and a preconceived notion that students are not serious about their studies. So please get to the bottom of it. There may be something. Become a scientist. Go into a research mode on why, what happened. Just don't become a lawyer and give a verdict whether it is right or wrong. And empathize, because it's human nature to make errors. Have empathy for people. Always get to your facts before you react. We get angry before we know the facts. हम पहले ही गुस्सा हो जाते हैं. Get your facts straight. And if you are able to do this steps which I showed you, you will see how your anger actually comes down. So this you can take a pick of. This is the ultimate for emotional mastery. Identify your emotions. Appreciate your emotions. Say, yes, I realize I am sad. Then ask, what does this emotion offer you? Then look at what are the resources to handle these emotions. Be neutral to your emotional triggers, like I just shared. जो trigger है उससे neutral हो जाओ. Let it not impact you. Then look at what is the bigger picture. How can you change life? So what is the bigger picture of this emotions? If you can follow these 6 steps, trust me, you will gain an emotional mastery like no one. Whenever you're going through an emotional phase, I have this printed and put on my desk for some days now, so I know I can handle emotions pretty well. And this helps you to gain emotional mastery. And the last, take actions as if the emotional impact is no more there. So you have to take action to say, no, I'm off the emotion. So like Madhusmita was saying, okay, I was feeling different, so what? I'm feeling happy now. And because I'm feeling happy, I'm going to watch a movie with my friends. You know where the entire flow changes? If you are able to find the answer to this. The minute you will ask, depression कर रहे हो के depress हो के मुझे मिल क्या रहा है? Some voice will come and say, कुछ नहीं. तो मैं depress हूँ क्यों? What is the purpose? Because our brain always wants to do things with purpose. Now, how do I get out of this? Then you recognize your resources. And if you can master these, trust me, your leadership journey, your managerial journey will become so powerful. So I'm just showing you some of the looks of emotions: contempt, happiness, disgust. Just look at disgust, how bad it looks. Fear, anger, sadness. I think this looks the best. Even this looks cool. The rest, they don't look good because these emotions don't look good on us. And what do? I'll show you something. We develop positive attitude. From can't to result to we create strong backups. We get in love, and this love is self-love. How many of you love yourself first? Is my question.
Yes, ma'am.
Love yourself first, you will love the world.
Yes, ma'am.
We are so busy loving other things, we forget to love ourselves. And this is what emotional intelligence.
Spend more time to myself.
If that suits you, why not? A lot of the people think self-love is being selfish. No. Self-love is being loving to yourself. Saying, okay, I may not be the best. I love myself. Okay, whatever I have, I'm happy with. And this, my dear friends, is the key to it. Our emotions, if we can create it in this grid, you will always be emotionally stable and mature and intelligent. And it will take you to the ultimate thing, which should always be there in your life, and that is happiness. Whatever happens, you'll feel happy. Create an affirmation. I do it all the time. Even if I'm irritated now, but I'm becoming better and better. Even if I'm emotionally low now, but I'm gradually feeling happy. I tell this to myself all the time. You know, because I'm into business, I'm into training. Many times people get on my nerves. They literally drive me mad. And then I say, yeah, they are driving me mad, but they will stop driving. They have stopped driving me mad. I'm better now. I'm in a better place now. Create affirmations. These are very simple emotional, upliftment techniques. ये बहुत ज़्यादा बेटा ये नहीं होता है कि आप कुछ इतिहास लिख रहे हो. Few words. Start your day. Start your day with good affirmations. I may be having problems in the office now. The problems are gone. Trust me, you will see a change. People find them like, अरे, क्या है. But then people who have done have come back and told me, ma'am, how did it change? You know why it changes? Because your body language, your energy changes towards doing work. And trust me, energy flows where your attention goes. It's a universal theory. आप अगर नेगेटिविटी की ओर अपनी एनर्जी फ्लो करेंगे, everything will flow towards negativity. So be positive. Like I shared the music already with you. Don't worry. Be happy. Always. Because worry actually doesn't solve any problem. It only increases the problem. So any questions? It's 8:51. And I know you all must be thinking of having dinner. Any questions?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
मैम, जब भी मुझे भूख लगती है और मुझे खाना नहीं मिलता, मैं बहुत गुस्सा होती हूँ और उस टाइम में मेरे मुंह से क्या निकलता है मुझे खुद भी नहीं पता होता है.
Can you repeat the problem?
जब भी मुझे भूख लगती है और उस टाइम में मुझे खाना ही नहीं मिलता, तो मैं बहुत गुस्सा होती हूँ और उस टाइम में बहुत ही गलत अनाप शनाप बोल देती हूँ.
खाना क्यों नहीं मिलता है?
मतलब सपोज मम्मी ने बनाया नहीं होगा या फिर मेरे मनपसंद का कुछ नहीं होगा जो मैं बोली होंगी उस टाइप का.
Do one thing.
तो
कल
यस
से
मैम.
ना जब भी तुम्हें भूख लगे और खाना नहीं मिले, close your eye and think, what can I eat which is there? Can I have a biscuit? Can I have a mixture? Can I have something else? Can you keep something ready in your room, like a protein bar or a wafers thing? And also, when you are shouting, and this is Madhusmita, a very good exercise, just look at the expression on your mother's face. Observe her. We usually shout with our eyes down or eyes up. We are not looking at the person. Look at the person. Go in front of the mirror and shout in front of the mirror. Trust me, we'll stop doing it. 3 things we say. First, find an alternative, what you could do. Second, the person you are shouting at, look at what emotions are you creating in that person's, life. Third, stand in the front of the mirror and shout. Solve हो जाएगा. वैसे NLP processes से भी हो जाएगा, but I'm not teaching NLP, so I'm not saying that. But you can use these 3 exercises. Keep something ready in your room for a quick bite, so that your anger subsides. Happens. A lot of people can't deal with hunger.
That's the best idea, ma'am.
I do it in my room. You will find there is a packet of something here or something there, and I'll be like munching in the middle of. If there is a session in which both me and Dr. Dasha are there, when he's speaking, I'm munching on something because 9:30 तक भूख लगी जाती है. I'm not a heavy eater in the afternoons, nor do I take evening snacks. So I found my own alternative. Otherwise, I would start getting a headache. I will not shout at people. Then I start getting a headache, and कोई अच्छा खाना भी मेरे सामने रखा था, ये क्या बनाया है आज, So it just gets very frustrating. So find the alternative. Always look for alternative. What can it be that can solve your problem? Does that help you, Madhusmita?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And if
ma'am.
it's
Thank
that
you
big
so
a
much.
problem, you can connect with me in personal. I'll
नहीं
give
मैम,
you some
एक्चुअली
more tips.
पहले मेरे साथ ये बहुत होता था. अभी क्या है ना, मैंने सब्स्टिट्यूट रखा हुआ है. मतलब मैं पहले से मम्मी को बोलती हूँ थोड़ा ये बना दो. वो अगर नहीं है तो मैं खुद अपना कुछ बाहर खा लेती हूँ.
अच्छा करते हो.
क्योंकि ऑफिस से आने के बाद बहुत ही भूख लगती है.
हाँ.
अगर सामने कुछ भी नहीं होगा खाने के लिए, बहुत ही गुस्सा आता है.
मेरे साथ भी होता था.
तो आते वो तो टिफिन पैक करके लेता है ना.
इसमें
वो तो टिफिन पैक करके ले आएंगे, घर पे खाएंगे और
Yes, Dave, you are saying something.
मैम, मैं ये बोल रहा था, जब कभी कभी लिमिट क्रॉस हो जाता है तब क्या क्या कर सकता है कोई?
लिमिट एज
जैसे कि मैं एक श्रीनगर में पोस्टेड था, तो वहां पे एक बार ऐसे सिचुएशन आया कि हम लोग जो है बहुत देर तक आपने मतलब होल्ड करने की कोशिश की अपनी एंगर को. पास हो गया था. उसके बाद जब लिमिट क्रॉस हो गया सब कुछ, उसके बाद वी हैव टू शो आवर एंगर एट दैट टाइम.
ग्रुप में थे?
सॉरी मैम,
यू वर इन अ ग्रुप और यू वर अलोन?
नहीं, आई वाज इन ए ग्रुप.
देयर इज समथिंग वी कॉल एज अ ग्रुप डायनामिक्स. ग्रुप में क्या होता है ना, वो हर्ड मेंटालिटी हो जाती है. तुम अगर इग्नोर करना भी चाहो तो बगल से कोई बोलेगा इसने ऐसे बोला, हाउ डेयर.
लेट मी फिनिश मैम. एक्चुअली क्या हुआ था कि ऐसे ही मतलब गाड़ी एक्सीडेंट हो गया था तो हमारा, तो डॉक्टर जिन गाड़ी को तो एक्चुअली गलती उनका था, वो डॉक्टर थे एक. तो उन्होंने पूरा जितने गाड़ी था सबको रोक लिया रास्ते के ऊपर। तो उन्होंने बोला कि गाड़ी टूटा हुआ है, मेरे को कॉम्पेंसेशन चाहिए। तो जो हमारा ग्रुप कमांडर था, तो उन्होंने ठीक है, नो इशू, कम विथ अस, रिपेयर योर व्हीकल। देन उन्होंने बहुत मतलब अप्रोक्सीमेटली 1 आवर्स हो गया था तब तक। तो वो हमारे गाड़ी के नंबर्स, हमारे नाम्स वगैरह नोट कर रहे थे तब तक। तो उन्होंने जैसे कि बोला कि मेरे पास पेशेंट बैठे हुए हैं, मेरा कॉम्पेंसेशन कौन भरेगा, मेरा गाड़ी टूटा हुआ है, मेरा टाइम लॉस होगा। तो हमारे कमांडर थे, तो उन्होंने बोला कि नो इशू, व्हाट एवर इट विल बी, देन विल पे इट। देन टोल्ड पे मी 20,000 रुपीज। देन तो हमारे कमांडर थे, उन्होंने बोला कि इट्स नॉट दैट मच एक्सपेंसिव, इट विल टेक 2-3,000, वी नो इट, एंड हमारे साथ चलिए, हम रिपेयर कर देंगे, या फिर आप एड्रेस दे दीजिए, व्हाट एवर एक्सपेंसेस विल बी, विल पे यू। तो आप भरोसा रखिए हमारे ऊपर। तो वो बोलते हैं कि भरोसा, और इंडियन आर्मी के ऊपर, तुम्हारे ऊपर भरोसा रखो।
You were in Kashmir, right?
Kashmir, yes.
They just get into conflict with you because they have nothing better to do. I have lived in Srinagar, I know.
Then he told, if you want to settle the issue, give me your iCard, give me your iCard, and whenever you will pay me, just take it back. Then I just मतलब हमारे कमांडर तो 1 घंटे से उनको मतलब बहुत देर तक समझ, बट वो समझ नहीं रहे थे। तो तब मेरा बिल्कुल पैरा हाई हो गया, और मेरा 37 था। तो मैंने उनके कलर को पकड़ा, डॉक्टर जो थे, मैं बोला क्या चाहिए तुझे?
Typical army.
Be practical.
तो
No,
क्या
but
चाहिए?
sometimes you have to be, Dev. This is a conflict situation which is being created by people who want to harm you unnecessarily. When we talk of anger management, understand something very basic. Good, you brought this example. Let me share with everyone. When we talk of anger management, this is an anger that is harming you, which you can control, which is not required. But there are times when anger is required. I'll give you an example. Very good example you shared before we ended. Whenever a parent slaps a child because the child is doing something which can harm the child, right? Hitting a person is wrong. But then when the parent does that to correct the child within the limits, we never say the parent is wrong or the parent needs anger management. So once in a blue moon, we do reach a situation where we have to blow up because of the injustice of the situation, not because of our ego. हम जब एंगर मैनेजमेंट इन बोर्ड रूम्स की बात करते हैं, ऑफिस में बात करते हैं ना, वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ एन एंगर जो हमारे कुर्सी से निकलती है, बिकॉज वी आर सिटिंग ऑन अ चेयर, वी आर गेटिंग एंग्री ऑन पीपल और सिचुएशंस। आप जो कह रहे हो दैट इज अ सिचुएशनल एंगर, और वो होता है
Within 2 minutes, all situation get calm.
वो होता ही है। If I tell you one of my anger episodes, you all are going to fall down laughing. We had a college festival, you have this college fest, management fest, and some outside college guys had come in and they were really creating nonsense. Either bike. Me and 4 and 5, and I was in a sari. 4-5 of my male professors, हमने इतने बड़े बड़े डंडे उठाए, तो चलो अभी. They just ran away from the college. Sometimes in some situations, display of anger is the only way out. Aggression is the only, and I think somebody even clicked me in a sari and having a stick, share भी कर दिया था कहीं पे, which we got it removed कि मत डालो director institute की. So we are talking of our everyday anger कि हमें हर चीज पे गुस्सा आ रहा है, and it's impacting our growth, it is impacting our peace, it is impacting our health. लाठी चार्ज नहीं था बेटा, I would have fallen in my sari, हाँ, फंस के गिरने वाली थी. Thank God they ran away before I had to run 3 more steps. God saved me. So what Dave you shared is a situational issue where there is a conflict, and sometimes raising your voice is the only way out. When people get aggressive, sometimes becoming aggressive. The anger management, which I'm telling you, all of you here, is where people get angry on everything, which can be managed. So thank you for it. I hope you all had a wonderful session.
हेलो मैम।
Yes.
मैम आपका जो सेमिनार होता है वो लिंक्डइन में क्या आता है लिंक?
मेरे सेमिनार्स अभी जैसे आपके इंस्टीट्यूट के लिए, फिर मेरे सर्टिफिकेट प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं व्हिच आई पुट, एक प्रोग्राम मेरा कल से शुरू हो रहा है, आई थिंक दैट इज देयर इन लिंक्डइन. इफ यू आर इन माय लिंक्डइन देखा होगा, one of my NLP certification programs is starting from tomorrow, the beginners level. So mostly I post it on LinkedIn.
Ma'am, please send her
what is your LinkedIn profile? What is your LinkedIn profile?
What a wonderful
on what's name? Yeah.
I think you will have to give me thoda मैं technically over smart हूँ, so let me just copy and share from LinkedIn because some bright guy told कि आप अपने profile के नीचे पीछे PhD लगा लो because there are too many Swatis in this world, which I think is true. There are just too many Swatis in this world. So if you want to stay connected with me, this is my profile and मेरे programs वहाँ पे आते हैं. You can always know. मेरे free webinars भी आते हैं. Just yesterday I had a free webinar excellence का. Everything comes on my LinkedIn, so you can always follow me on LinkedIn and know what is happening in my life. So thank you everyone. God bless you.
Thank
And
you, ma'am.
all you
Thank
already
you,
have
ma'am.
my number.
Thank
So
you.
in case you
Ma'am,
want to
can
know
we
something
see you
more,
again?
that is all
Ma'am,
dependent
please
on
share your
what
number, please
sessions
again.
your people are going to keep for me. If there is a session, of course. If I'm ever in Bhubaneswar and if you guys are in campus, maybe I can come down and say hi to you all. That's the only thing I can say. But it was fun. Your batch was very interesting. I loved having conversation with your batch, and a lot of regards to all of you and success to you. Stay blessed, stay happy, tolerate your marriage. Just be good to yourself and be happy. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am. It's your pleasure, ma'am.
Thank you,
Good
ma'am.
night. Good night.
Ma'am,
all
ये
of you.
दिल मांगे
Thank you,
मोर.
ma'am.
I'm available if there is a program, my dear.